and gents, welcome back to the Tea in PT, presented today by myself, Joe, Jay, and Ethan, as always. Say hi, guys. Hello, everyone.
What are we saying?
How you doing? Today we are talking about fitness myths and misconceptions, the stuff that we've all heard and most of us have tried out and realised that actually it's full of shit, isn't it? We've got plenty of experience here. Ethan, do you want to start us off?
We're going to myth bust the shit out of this.
Yeah,
right, okay. This one that I keep getting a lot is, do you know what, it's mainly from women with experience of that they want to use the free weights, because obviously they've only ever used the cardio machines before, things like the treadmill, the rowers and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they go like, they do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes on that one, 10 minutes on that one, 10 minutes on that one, they just keep chopping and changing. But the myth is, I don't want to do the weights because I don't want to get massive. Listen, honest to God, yeah, if that was the truth, trust me, I wouldn't leave, because I've been trying to do that for ages. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was that easy for you to get massive and wham just by using as easy as you think it is, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't leave.
The three of us
wouldn't
fit
because
in the camera.
I wish it worked like that.
Hold on a minute, don't tie me in with you two. I'm fucking massive. Give me that shit, it worked for me. I don't have a fucking clue what you two are talking about. It definitely worked for me. So yeah. No, I do agree with what Ethan's saying though, to the point, like, females, you don't produce enough testosterone to actually warrant the physical changes that you're going to be worrying about. For you to get to the level where you're going to start looking manly, you're going to be injecting. And when you start doing something like that, you'll have more facial hair than me, Joe, and Ethan put together.
Yeah, you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't stress. It will all come down to your abilities in the gym, from cardio, what type of sport you actually do as well. CrossFit is a big indicator of that. The women in that, they don't look manly. Well, some do, but that's for additional reasons, like PEDs and stuff, but we're not getting onto that today. So yeah, sorry mate, carry on.
Yeah, I think it's obviously it's a really, really common misconception. The moment you touch a weight, you just blow up, and it just doesn't happen like that. You know, we train multiple times a week. I don't know about you guys specifically, but I've started more of like a bodybuilding style workout. So, you know, those longer rep ranges, really focusing on the time under tension. I'm not blowing up. No one's blowing up. You know, strength training is certainly not going to pack on huge amounts of muscle for you. It's more just building that structural stability. So those short rep ranges with heavier weights, you're absolutely not just going to come out the shower the next day looking like the Hulk. It just doesn't happen. It takes years and years and years of consistency and training in a specific way to get that kind of effect for your body. And certainly still faster for men than it is for women. So if it's not happening overnight for men, how can you justify the idea that it would happen for you as well? Like, you don't have the same hormonal balances that we do, and it doesn't happen for us.
I'm still stuck on that. I wish it happened the way you thought it did.
Yeah.
And I will just jump in from that, because I'm sure we've all seen it, and you guys must have seen it as well. There's always that one strong fucker in the gym that doesn't even look like he's been to a gym.
Yeah.
But he's got unfucking godly strength. Like, he's repping 50s like it's nothing. You're just sat there going,
Listen,
cool mate, you're half my size and you fucking laying it out like it's nothing.
this is me. This is you describing me. This is so sick. Leave it alone now.
So
Just leave it. That's enough.
So, this is another correlation between strength and size. Because if it was just lifting heavy weight to get big, the really strong, skinny guy would be fucking massive. It's the same as powerlifters as well. As you can see, there's like weight classes with 63 kilos, 55 kilos, and they're lifting 7 times their body weight, easy, like 180 deadlifts, 220 deadlifts. And if size and strength was actually a complete correlation, they would be massive, but it's not.
Yeah.
So one of the best sayings I love is, be a bodybuilder, not a weightlifter. Focus on targeting the muscle groups you want to improve. Focus on the controlled negatives, so you can feel, as you say, time under tension. Basically, it's the pump. We want to get the blood pumped into the muscle to bulk it up enough and just expand it, stretch everything in there, recover, repair, go again. And it's a consistency race. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a slow process. It's a long process to really see significant difference in overall size. It takes time, man. There are people been working out for years and only put on 10, 15 pounds of lean muscle mass, and that is huge. That's a massive amount of weight over the course of a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a natural athlete or someone who just enjoys the gym and you're training in this way, it's going to take a decade easily to look like you're a bodybuilder. If you're doing it naturally, it's going to take you years and years. So I really wouldn't worry about I don't want to touch weights because I'm going to look too traditionally masculine. It just doesn't happen like that.
No, that's completely true. And there's something that's been going on for gyms since I started in them. Oh, I'm natural. Cool. Which point?
Yeah.
Are you on gear?
Yeah. Why
do we care?
The people that's natural, they don't say anything. Because they would never go, oh, I'm natural. They would just never even bring it up. They would never even talk about it. Because it's not even crossed their mind, is it?
And in the nicest possible way, no one really gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, if you're coming into the gym in your wife beater, hot pants, and you've got fucking massive veins popping through the arms, you've got shoulders that are not meant to be on your frame, and you go, I'm natural, because all I have is pea protein. Bell end.
Yeah.
No one believes you, mate. At the end of the day, like, for people that have taken things and for people that haven't, you know. Everyone knows. Like, it's even when you see people going up and asking bodybuilders, do you take anything? Fucking hell, it's like asking a 5-star chef, did you go to university to learn how to cook? Yes, of course I fucking did. To be a top 1% athlete in the bodybuilding scene, or even top 5%, they're all taking stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. At that level, you haven't got the choice. You're going to have to, otherwise you get left behind, because everyone else is going to be on it. And they're going to spend the next, God knows how many months on diuretics trying to get rid of all of it. And they're going to be stood on stage thinking, I've done that then. You haven't got much choice, have you, really? If you're going to compete with them, you're going to have to do it.
That's exactly it. Like, you're asking silly questions which you already know the answers to.
Yeah.
And we never want that to happen. Like, you know, some of the top athletes in the world, from footballers, rugby players, to everything like that, once you get to a certain level, you have two choices. You remain at this level and watch everyone else overtake you, because genetically, unless you're the 1%, like God genes, you don't really have much chance.
Yeah, you can only get to a certain level.
And that's not all of us here saying, oh yeah, just hop on cycle, blast cruise until the fucking day you die. If it's something you really want to do, research it. Because there's a lot of things that can go wrong with it. I've had the experiences of being in the gym and there's the big fucking old boy who's massive, and I go, oh, how'd you get that big? And he goes straight away, test. Do you want to jump on? 9 times out of 10, if I was skinny again, fuck me, yep, sorted, mate. I don't even know what you're giving me. You could be making this in your bathtub.
Yeah.
But if I get to the size you are, I potentially might take it. And that's sadly what the culture is at the moment. People want to skip the process, the hard work, the consistency, and they think it's a magic drug.
Yeah.
You still have to train.
You've got to put the work
You're
in.
still going to have to enjoy the process as well. That's the enthusiasm bit.
Yeah, it's a shortcut. That's all it is. It just speeds up the process. You're already doing this to your body by lifting and looking after it anyway. You're just making it faster, like way faster than you otherwise could possibly make that kind of progression. And again, like you said, there is only a certain level you could naturally get to anyway. Like the body just isn't built to sustain that level of just lean muscle mass. These guys walking around, 250 pounds, sub 10% body fat. The human body just doesn't do that. Like if you're scrolling on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and you come across a fitness influencer and you look at them and you think, oh my God, you look so good that you don't even look real anymore. And you ask the question, do you think this person's taken anything extra? More often than not, if you have to ask, I think we already know the answer. More often than not, like absolutely you're right. There are certain people with just got genetics, There's 8 billion people on the planet, a handful of them at least, are going to look unreal, from start to finish, and they'll have to put in bare minimum effort and they will just always come out on top because they've just got that X factor that the average person just doesn't, and you just kind of got to suck it up and make peace with that.
Yep.
But like you touched on, when it comes to competitive scenes, so top end sports and stuff like that, there's a difference. If you're doing it in your own time for your own satisfaction and it's something that you personally want to see yourself progress with, well, it's only your choice to make and it's only affecting you. So by all means, do what you want to do, whatever. If you're in a competitive situation and you become aware that you're the only person in that situation that is natural, suddenly, very quickly, you're going to notice that you are getting blown out of the fucking water. Because it's only a shortcut, but it still has marked effects. It will absolutely push you to a level that you otherwise aren't going to achieve. And going back to the fear of progressing too quickly when it comes to putting on muscle and stuff like that, without this stuff, it's just not going to happen.
Do you know what as well though? Like alongside the sports, when it gets to that certain level, it's like 9 times out of 10, the reason they're doing it because it's competitive and you're at that sort of level. There's money involved. As soon as there's money involved, people want the advantage.
You go for it.
People want
you
the
do
advantage.
whatever you can.
Yeah. And you would be stupid not to, really. If you really want to be at the top of your field and everyone else is having this advantage that you don't have, you're choosing to lose. You're choosing to get blown out of the water. Like if your career, your life, and your livelihood depend on. So let's take a like a fitness model, for example. Yeah, someone whose life and livelihood and career literally depends on the way you look. Well, if you are not eating correctly, working your ass off in the gym, and taking every advantage that you could possibly get your hands on, you're calling your own career into question. You're putting yourself at risk. You would absolutely guarantee the payday, because otherwise, why wouldn't you? It's your job. It's your career.
Do you know what? It extends past the length of this. I was like, what was the cyclist Armstrong? Took EPOs for Tour de France. Yeah, It's like, yeah, probably everyone else is probably doing it as well, but he got caught.
Yeah. So the most famous athletes in the world, they have these incredible storied careers, and then it comes out later, oh, actually, they were taking this, taking that.
Yep.
Of course they fucking were. Why do you think they were winning 5 years in a row against thousands and thousands of other competitors? Are they really are they that fucking special? Really? Some people are, but it's unlikely.
It's rare.
Yeah.
It's not knocking anyone, and it's not us going, yep, you're natural, you're never going to beat someone who's taken something.
Yeah.
But in reality,
In the real world, you ain't gonna.
you ain't. Like, there's no, if consistency beats talent, if talent doesn't work. If talent doesn't fucking work, consistency, you will lose out. It don't matter how gifted you are, your genetics. Oh, I've got the best of everything. Little Timmy down the road, if he's hitting the gym 6 times and you're only smashing it 4 times because you got God genetics, Timmy's catching you quicker than you think.
Yeah.
And then once he overtakes you and you're like, oh yeah, but I got better genetics than him. You didn't outwork him, no.
Yeah. Doesn't matter at that stage.
Like, you've got to be the hardest worker in the room, and I love that. You guys, you're going to notice through our podcast, I'm going to be doing sayings, mottos, quotes, whatever the fuck I can get hold of. I love them. Doesn't matter if you buy a Ferrari or steal a Ferrari. If it's in my garage, it's there. Kid. I got a Ferrari. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how long I
your
keep
Ferrari.
it. Yeah, I don't care how long I kept it for.
Good
if
for
I buy a Ferrari or steal a Ferrari and it's in my garage, it's in my garage. I got a Ferrari. Yeah. So it's not how you get to it's not the pot of gold at the end, it's how you get to the leprechaun. That's what it is, and that's what we like. So yeah, again, I do have to reiterate, guys, we're not just telling you to hop on cycles. Do your research, there's a lot of things that come with it, and sometimes there's benefits to it, like TRT. I could talk about this for hours. Like TRT for men, helping reverse depression, helping keep the joint structure healthy, help keeping bones, just keeping us young.
I'd like a nice debate with that one.
I'm good with that. Yeah, we'll do this later on. We'll do a couple of these debates coming up.
Tune in next time for a debate.
Yeah, we want you guys to get involved. Like, if you guys have had any experience with PEDs, TRT, anyone on TRT at the moment, how they finding it? I know in the UK, to be prescribed TRT is quite a difficult thing to do. So the majority of people go down another route. Is the stuff you're taking really safe? Can it be authenticated? 9 times out of 10 it can't. But if you've got a good supplier, you're good. But we can't go down to these routes
Don't
yet.
deprive yourself of sleep so you can just get it prescribed to you by your doctor and your GP. Don't do that. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's real dumb.
Don't do that.
It's really, really dumb.
So yeah, I think that's the first one. What we got next?
Interesting. So I get asked this quite a lot, or something along the lines of, what exercises can I do to reduce the fat around my midsection, around my stomach? I want a 6-pack, therefore crunches are the way to achieve that.
Sit-ups.
Sit-ups.
That's what I hear. Sit-ups.
Oh yeah, I need to do sit-ups, I need to do planks, I need to do this, that. Absolutely, you should work your core. It's another muscle group, but it's one of the most important ones because it's involved in literally everything you ever do for the rest of your life. You cannot spot reduce fat. You can't choose a particular area of your body and say, I want that area to be leaner. This is strictly genetic, and it's something we have no control over at all. Everyone has slightly different genetics. Everyone's a bit more predisposed to holding fat in certain places. So myself, as an example, the vast majority of the fat on my body is around my midsection, my hips, my sort of love handle area, lower back, which is quite typical for middle-aged men, to be honest, as our hormone profile comes down from our teen years after puberty and our early 20s. Sorry?
You're old.
Yeah, I am getting old. Mate, straight on that TRT. I'm getting straight on that TRT. Anyway, so because I hold a lot of fat around my midsection, I tend to find that compared to other fitness influencers and stuff like that, people who've got that sort of that nice central column of six-pack abs, it takes me a lot longer to get there because that's the biggest sort of area that contains a lot of fat. Whereas conversely, my arms, no matter how much I eat, tend to stay pretty lean. Unfortunately, as someone who is into the gym and wants to get bigger, having lean arms isn't always the way you want it. I used to want really big arms, so if I could have, I would have moved all my fat to my arms and just had fucking huge arms, even though they wouldn't have looked muscular. They would have just been bigger. But actually, that's not what I want anymore. I've realised that you kind of got to make peace with where fat is on your body.
Yeah.
When you, like the process of losing fat, it comes from everywhere at once. Now, there are going to be areas that you see it less in because there will be a more dramatic effect on areas that have more fat, of course, but it is still coming from everywhere at once.
Yeah, that's literally bang on, and something that we do talk about quite a lot, especially with our own clients, is, so if you're looking at just losing weight, cardio, smash cardio out.
Good.
If you're looking at losing a little bit of weight and starting to produce a bit more muscle mass, cardio, weights, protein.
Yep.
But what do you guys think on, I want to lose weight and build muscle at the same time with an equal amount of results?
Ooh.
Is that possible?
I think you're trying to drive in first gear and reverse at the same time.
Yep.
I think you should pick a gear, run with that gear, and then decide if you're going to change the direction after. That's what I think you should do.
So, two options for this.
See, this is, let me just jump in real quick. So we may actually disagree here on what would be, on what would be necessarily the more sustainable route. Or maybe not disagree on what's more sustainable. I think we could all agree that once you find a sort of a diet and exercise regimen that works for you, I think that just becomes sustainable because it works for you. When it comes to building muscle and losing fat, so yeah, it's absolutely correct. You can't build and lose in equal measure at the same time. The body just can't do it. Something has to give. Main gaining is a thing, and this is where we essentially eat at or around maintenance, and we work out. We make sure we get our protein in. We're lifting heavy and everything else. Over time, you will absolutely build significant muscle and lose significant fat. Does it come in equal measure? No, absolutely not. You could arguably lose fat a lot faster than you could build muscle, but at caloric maintenance, both of them become quite difficult. Now, I personally, right now, am actually main gaining. So funnily enough, it's come up in conversation. I'm only eating at or around maintenance. There's a bit of fluctuation day on day because I'm not super strict with it right now, but I'm seeing the results I want to see, so it's sustainable for me. I'm continuing to improve performance-wise, so something must be changing in my body. It's physically impossible for my body to be exactly the same if I can perform better. I am looking leaner, despite the fact I'm not eating in a caloric deficit. My activity is probably putting me in a caloric deficit to an extent, but it's not huge. I'm not cutting, as you would traditionally consider a cut to go. So I am getting fitter, stronger, faster, leaner at the same time. It's not all in equal measure. I could arguably get stronger faster if I were in a surplus. I could get leaner faster if I was in a significant deficit. But these things are happening simultaneously for me.
I think you just need to consider, basically it's just like what you want to go for, and then decide, are you happy with the optimal route? Are you happy with not taking the... It doesn't mean you're not going to get the results, it just means you might take it a bit longer. It might be a little bit more difficult, it might be a little bit more of a tedious job, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the optimal way to do it. In terms of the spot reduction, the way I like to kind of describe that, I just want to go on that real quick, because some of you might not realise what we mean by that, by spot reduction. That is basically when we're trying to say that you're trying to remove an area of fat specifically from a certain area on your body. So there's Joe said before, it was more like, okay, I want it done for my hips, I want it done for my waist, I want it done from my stomach, or I have it on my back. So for women, it's like when they have their bra straps and they can feel it hanging out. It's things like that. It's areas from that. So trying to describe it as an example for you would be like saying, I've got a bottle of water, it's completely empty to begin with, and I've set the tap on. Imagine it fill up. Just imagine it fill up. And I want you to imagine this is just your fat level. I just want you to just imagine it for the moment, it's just your fat level rising. You've decided now that you want to get rid of some. And you go, do you know what? I want to get rid of the bit on my legs. Cool. Now, when you try to pour that fat out of that bottle, in your head, you want to pour the bottom half of the water out. It doesn't work that way. It's just gonna come out. You can't decide what area of the water comes out first. That's unfortunate. It has to come down together as a level. You can't decide.
Yes, bang on.
Yep.
It's literally, that's one of the big things we do get. As PTs in our industry, we normally have 3 criteria. I want to lose fat, I want to gain muscle, and I love this word, tone.
Oh, don't that.
Tone. Oh, I just want to tone.
What are you trying to tone? Your violin? Your piano?
Yeah.
My heartstrings.
Yeah. Tell me what you think tone means. Like, 'cause
We all understand it. We understand the principle of tone. No, it's all good. No stress. Like, yeah,
No, you
all
carry
good.
on, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, when we come to the word tone, it is a big one because normally the main goal is body fat reduction when it comes to tone, because we want to see visible striations. We want to have the nice V taper coming through our hips as well, as long as the V taper coming from our back. And for females, they want nice hamstrings, glutes popping, nice little abdomen coming through, maybe a little bit of ab pop, and just enough up here. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit of leanness, nothing too crazy.
And a thigh gap's all I hear.
Yeah.
That's all I hear. On a thigh gap.
See, for me, thick lives save. No,
Thighs.
thick thighs save lives. I got
He's
distracted.
a fireman in his
Oh,
past
the
life with the
thickness
size of this
took me away.
unit.
I got distracted there by what I was saying. I knew what I meant. That's all I can say. But to the point the lads are on about, spot reduction and toning. Just do your research, guys. And if you're really unsure and you've done a lot of research yourself, just ask a PT.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think any PT worth their salt can quite comfortably explain this in a way that even the most lay of men would understand. You know, if you're going in with this idea that we're just going to spaff all these ridiculous words at you that aren't going to make any sense, and it just sounds like noise to you because it's all, the scientific terms for everything, it's going to be overwhelming. Like, we need to know this stuff. You don't need to know all that stuff. You just need to understand what can and can't be done and how to do the things that can be done.
I do just want to jump in, sorry mate, I'm
Yeah, go
really
ahead.
sorry about this.
No, go ahead.
One of my biggest fucking griefs in the gym, and this, I've done it. I'll tell you this, guys. I hold my hands up right now and I'll tell you this. Using fucking words you don't need to use in the gym when you're training a client. Oh, your mandula oblongata. Fucking let's smash them out. No, dickhead. Right? Simple fact. We need to know these. Exactly what Joe said. We need to understand these terminologies to be qualified. If we do not understand these terminologies, how are we supposed to train you? So, your latimus dorsi, as we all know, is your lats. But I'm not going to sit there going, give me 15 latimus dorsi reps, please. Thank you. Cool. Then we're going into your medial head of your shoulder. Why the fuck do you need to know that? Yeah. It's literally, look, do you want a good back, right? Okay, cool. We're going to run through 5 to 6 back exercises, 5 to 6 shoulder exercises. We find the one which helps you move the best, which doesn't cause you pain or discomfort, and we move from there. It's really that simple. Some people have to give the perception that they know more than what they do to get the people in. But
You know the best bit is? When that happens, ask another question.
yeah.
Because they go, shit.
Ask them to explain the word they
He's
used.
actually on to me now.
Yeah.
He's actually on to me now. And do you know what, though? In my experience, this is what I do, right? I like to think I know what I'm doing. But there comes a point where I'm not an encyclopedia. So if you ask me and I don't know it, I'm just going to say, look, and your PT should do this. If they don't know it, just say you don't know it. But bear with me, mate. I'll find it out for you and I'll get back to you.
I'll have it by the end of your session,
I'll
minimum.
I'll find it out for you.
Yeah.
I'll find it out for you. I'm not going to just...
Just pretend you don't hear
No,
it.
I'm not going to go on.
So,
Yeah, it's clearly hear it.
what? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear you. Sorry, why are you speaking Spanish?
What? Vamos. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of PTs just kind of word salad to sound. Not to say that they're not intelligent or anything else, but to sound more intelligent, to give them almost that air of authority, just by speaking. And it's not necessary. It's kind of a waste of time and energy for everyone involved, because your client is sat there going, what? Like, I don't have a clue what you just said. You gave me all this information and it's gone in one ear and out the other because I couldn't process any of it. Break it down.
Yeah. I want to add on to that. So when I learned something, right, the way I was always taught something, right, if you can't explain whatever the scenario or the project or whatever the term is that you're trying to explain, if you can't describe that to a 5-year-old, you do not know it enough yourself.
Bang on. Exactly right.
Completely agree.
Exactly. Can't disagree with that.
You do not know it enough yourself if you cannot explain it to a real young kid.
And just because you don't know it, don't add bands to the exercise to make it more fucking complicated either. Because that don't do nothing.
Might look cool, might look impressive.
Yeah, like why are you adding bands to an exercise they can't even do normally? Come on, guys. Like, sorry, I'm good. I'm alright. Sorry.
So to round off the spot reduction conversation, I just wanted to quickly jump back in and say that with regard to seeing the difference in the part of the body that you really want to see that difference in, a lot of the time it's just gonna take a bit longer than you thought it would. You know, if you want to see that reduction around your midsection, your waist, or whatever, you just got to keep going. If you've already got lean arms and lean legs and your bum's looking nice and tight, your tits are like firm and held and well, then
yes, Joe.
Yeah, hey.
Hold on a minute.
Hey now.
What about a PT session?
just imagine every part of your body is as lean as you want it to be, but your tummy isn't. Well, guess what the next step is? Like, you're losing fat from everywhere, but if these pieces are already really lean, where's the next lot of fat coming from? Keep going. You got to trust the process, and this is what I mean. It's not going to happen overnight. Going back to the steroids thing, yeah, it will happen faster if you're taking those shortcuts, but that's all it is. It's a length of time, and you have to decide how long you're prepared to take to get from A to B. A lot of the time, that period of time is going to be a lot greater than you might expect. I think we do need at some stage to do a video on expectations, reasonable expectations.
Realistic.
Because I have had some really incredible requests from clients as to what can be done within a specific length of time. I want this, I want that in 6 weeks. 6 weeks is not a long time, especially when it comes to altering your body for the rest of your life. Essentially, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, do you know what? I think because for everyone, obviously we've all lived through this. When you're in school and you get those holidays, and that 6 weeks is a hell of a long time. You get bored shitless. In the real world, right, those 6 weeks is not a long time.
You blink and they're gone, man.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. Just pretend you're on the most basic planet ever. You can only commit to 3 days a week. Paul Susan has walked in. She's like, do you know what? I'm not going to do my full body sessions. I want to do legs on Monday. I've determined. I'm doing push on Wednesday. Determined. I'm doing pull on Friday, determined. Over them 6 weeks, you've had 6 leg sessions. In 6 weeks, you've done 6 leg sessions. That's it.
And you're wondering why you're not seeing another person's 6 weeks worth of progress when they've done legs 3 times a week. They've done 18 sessions in that time.
And you got to think as well, when you've only done your 6 sessions of legs, you also got your 18 sessions of Netflix in. You made sure of that. 100%. For some reason, you can't find time to go to the gym, but fuck me, you can tell me every episode of a Netflix documentary. Yeah. It don't make sense.
I know the ones.
Put the Netflix documentary on at the gym.
Yeah.
If you're doing your cardio. Like, if you really multitask.
I did that.
Yeah.
Just find something you can do, like treadmills. I know guys that hate going to the gym. They bought a treadmill and then put it in front of their telly.
Yeah.
Or they get a spin bike. My bad, I forgot where it was then. Yeah, get a spin bike. 30 minutes of cardio. One of the best things I like for my cardio, and I will bring this in for us and we'll have a little stream on it, is...
Keep it PG, Jay.
The Nintendo Switch Fit game. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Wii Fit, but it's the Nintendo Switch version, and you have the big ring, you have to beat this dragon. I'll bring this in. This is what I do on an evening, guys. I play that game. I will happily challenge any of you lot to this game. And then when I win...
You lying shit.
Like, share, and subscribe.
I know what he does. He's got his app out, right? playing Pokemon Go, run around the fucking park.
Yeah,
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, man.
When Pokemon Go came out, I loved it.
Bro, the first 3 months of Pokemon Go, it was like world peace.
It was beautiful.
Everything changed
Yep, everyone was
when
happy.
the Fire Nation attacked. You just walk out into the park and just droves of nerds everywhere walking around on their phone, which we would
And
normally
even
do.
normal people,
Yeah,
though.
even
Like,
normal people you'd never expect.
You didn't do it, though, did you?
No.
They had an age restriction on it. I remember.
You were like fucking 16 for that.
you couldn't get the sign off. I remember. That's why.
Not allowed to mobile in primary school, are you?
Agree if you're over 12 and you couldn't click the agree button. It was gutting.
I couldn't get parental
Devastated,
consent. Oh, no. Mum, I need £5 for a few more incubators.